Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to Dream Walker Tarot. My name is Dawn, and this is the Sagittarius reading for September 2021. Let's get into it. Okay, so Sag, with these three cards, the Strength card, the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, and the Six of Cups in reverse, I just got the overwhelming sense of here I go again. Like you're doing something again that you have done in the past, and it's like you're in this space where you're trying to figure out how to navigate the situation because this is a mistake or something that you've done in the past that you're repeating. So you're like in this cycle process, right? And so right now in the month of September, you are dealing with this energy of like a repetitive thing that you are doing, and this is something that probably has been with you, since you were a child, like a childhood pattern that you've been doing. So let's take a deeper dive and see what this is about. So interestingly enough, I realized that underneath the Strength card was the Page of Wands, just kind of hiding out, right? Which is that's interesting. And so that's something that I actually want to come back to look at because the Page cards is about starting a new beginning. So you're in this period of starting something new, but for some reason you're like, oh no, kind of like here I go again. And so I'm trying to understand what that's about because it doesn't feel like a good space, right? It feels like you're a little bit nervous about repeating something over again. So we're going to pull like a full spread to kind of get the full energy about these cards. So taking a look at this full spread, I do notice immediately that there's a little bit of a mirroring that's happening. There's definitely some mirroring activity because if you look at the Six of Wands in reverse, the Six of Pentacles, the Nine of Pentacles, and the Justice card in reversed, there's definitely some mirroring image. So you're either mirroring the person that you're with or you're mirroring a pattern of behavior, you're mirroring behaviors from someone else, but you're definitely mirroring something. Some type of mirroring activity is going on, right? So I want to take a look first at the Strength and the Strength card and the Page of Wands, and I also want to look at the reversals in your spread to kind of get a little bit more insight into what's going to be happening for you in the month of September. Okay, so to clarify, the Strength card and the Page of Wands is the Nine of Swords, the Fool in reverse, and the Sun card. So this is a lot of conflicting energy, right? And this could indicate the way that you feel at this moment. You're conflicted about this new venture and this new situation and this new pattern that you're in. But it's like a journey that you are kind of being resistant to. You're happy about it, but it's also giving you a lot of anxiety, a lot of sleepless nights, just a lot of worry on your mind about this particular new start. I don't know, that Nine of Swords and the Sun card are so polar opposite in feeling that it's like you're really going through a lot internally because this is not something that you are actually letting anyone see or know. So you're keeping this to yourself, and you're kind of walking around kind of like nervous, like you're nervous about some information coming to light. You're nervous about what that means for you if and when that information comes to light, but you're not speaking on it. You're kind of keeping it to yourself, and you're really trying to figure out how to even introduce this information or how to even tell anyone, what's going on. So taking a look at the King of Cups, because that was kind of like a standout energy to me because it didn't really seem like your energy. The King of Cups is someone who's balanced in their emotions. And based on all the other cards that are out on the table, your emotions are not balanced. So the King of Cups is probably someone that's exterior to you, someone that is probably a water sign. So a Pisces, a Scorpio, or a Cancer. And you, to me, look more along the lines of the King of Wands. And again, the King of Wands and the Nine of Swords are clarifying this King of Cups energy. So you have a little bit of anxiety towards your relationship with this particular person. And because it's a king, it does not necessarily mean that it's a man or a woman. It's just they have a little bit of a masculine energy as opposed to a feminine energy. So this person could be a woman with feminine energy, and it could be a man. But you have a lot of your anxiety is surrounding this particular person. And again, in the back of the King of Wands card, there is the Lion, which is also representative of the Strength card, but it's also a Leo card. So that sign is also in the mix somewhere. So it could be a Leo, it could be a water sign. But it really is talking about your relationship with this particular person, and you are a little stressed out about something related to this person. And that's playing itself out this month. I do get the sense, Sagittarius, that you are dealing with a little bit of a crux of responsibility and duty. It's like you're in this cycle pattern where it's like you feel like you have to do things a certain way, or you have to proceed in a certain way, but that is contrary to what you actually want to do. And so that kind of serves as a crisis for you, because even though you want to do something, it's like you're trained to be a certain way, or you're trained to do things a certain way. And this particular person that's outside of you is kind of challenging that in your life, trying to break you out of the pattern of doing things for other people, to satisfy other people and not satisfy yourself. And now we have the Queen of Cups that comes in to kind of like help clarify the Wheel of Fortune, along with the Four of Cups, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Eight of Pentacles. So it is something that is heavily on your mind, and you are like, even though you are in one place, it's like your mind is elsewhere, because this crux of feeling like you have to be responsible all the time is really a drag for you, because you might not necessarily want to be where you're at, whether that's physically be in the space where you're at, where you live. You might want to move somewhere else. You might want to be at a different job, right? You might want to be in a different relationship. Like wherever you're at right now, you kind of don't want to be there. You want to be someplace else, right? But it's like a crisis for you of what you are responsible for and what you're supposed to be doing, as opposed to what you want to do. Clarifying the Six of Cups, which I said again is like a childhood energy. The Nine of Swords appears again, along with the Page of Wands, the Two of Cups, and the Seven of Pentacles. So there is some type of relationship that you want to work on, like you are passionate about this relationship, and you want to work on it, but for some reason it's giving you anxiety. So yeah, and again, like I said, in the other cards, there is like a mirroring type of energy, and I do want to look at that energy also to kind of understand what it is that you're mirroring. But this is something, relationships might be something of a little bit of like a landmine for you, and you might not know how to navigate relationships based on the type of relationships that you saw growing up. They might not have been entirely healthy, and you might feel like you're in a space where, even though you want to work on something, it's like there might be something else going on with you in the background. You might be suffering from a little bit of depression, even because this Nine of Swords keeps coming up. And so that is something that I want to look at. So we're going to look at that next. So yeah, the Nine of Swords is clarified by the Devil in reverse, the Knight of Cups, the Emperor in reverse, and the Page of Wands. So these are some little toxic characteristics going on, right? And this might be you. It might be the person that you're in a relationship with. It might be the situation that you're in. But because you are going through whatever you're going through internally, it is kind of leaking out in certain ways. And so even though you think you're kind of covering up, you are kind of being a little bit rude to the people around you. You might be lashing out at them because of your own internal situations and struggles that you're going through at this time. But it's like you really kind of, you want to be free. You know, the Page of Wands comes up, and if you see her, she's in free movement. She wants to be free and out here, and that seems to come up a lot, also in conjunction with the Nine of Swords. And so you kind of want to look at the space that you're in, Sagittarius, and really just try to identify like why you are not happy in the space that you're in and why you want to not be there, and really look at how your your childhood patterns or the things that you've been taught or the values that have been impressed upon you as a child are playing a role in the situation that you're in right now, and to see, you might want to sit down. You might want to even sit down with a therapist to really discuss these things, because these look like ingrained patterns in you that are kind of like affecting you at this current time. But there's definitely something that you are nervous or scared about coming to the light, and that is playing a huge role in this month, for you. As I said earlier, there is definitely some mirroring activity going on. With the Nine of Pentacles and the Six of Pentacles, along with the Six of Wands and the Justice card, there's definitely some mirroring. If you look at the cards, you can even see it, right? The numbers, the 9 and the 9 are literally reflected in each other, and the 6 and the 6 are reflected in each other. And so your relationship that you're in right now is reflecting a relationship that you saw play out in the past, like, when you were young, or your behaviors are mimicking behaviors that you might have saw in the past, and that is definitely playing itself out. You also want to just remember that whenever you make a decision, like some decisions, they have long-term ramifications, right? They affect your life in different ways. Like you can make a decision, it's not a big deal, and then you can make a decision that literally impacts your life and has a lasting effect. And I feel like whatever this anxiety-filled secret that's giving you all this anxiety is that you're holding, that this particular thing is going to have a major impact on your life, moving forward, right? So I wanted to just go ahead and clarify those last set of cards, and here it goes, right? Sagittarius. This might not apply to everyone. This might apply to only a specific group of people, but some of you are going to have a situation where there's going to be like a pregnancy situation that kind of comes to light, right? Or you are involved in a second relationship outside of the relationship that you're currently involved in, and that's going to come to light. But it's also going to come to light that that person is having a child, and that child might be a son, which actually makes you kind of happy because you do want a son. But for some of you, that is going to have a huge impact. Well, the ones that this is your situation, is going to have a huge impact on your family life where you're at right now, because you got like a secret love child going on, right? That is probably why you're anxious, and probably why you're so nervous, because you want to be able to talk about this, but you can't, right? So you're happy about the son, but you're not happy about the situation that you're in, right? And so that is making you hella nervous, and it's making you hella scared, and you don't know what you want to do. You want to do the right thing, but you at this point don't even know what the right thing is, right? So that's kind of where you're at this month. I'm going to pull some advice cards for you, okay? So the first and probably the most appropriate card of the day for your advice card is the Mirror Guardian. I told you I saw some stuff about mirroring going on, right? So, this card says to take the time to reflect. Take some time to reflect on your strengths and challenges and how far you've come. Recognize your gifts. Angels accept you just the way you are. Even when you're going through a challenging time, they still hold you in the highest esteem. The mirror guardian, a female looking into the mirror of life, invites you to witness your spiritual strength and beauty, to see yourself as angels do. The mirror represents the fact that your core beliefs and ideas are, in fact, what is reflected back to you by your world. Your life is one big mirror of how you feel within, and the mirror guardian helps you recognize that. When this happens, when this card appears, you are being invited to take some time to see where you are right now. You are a beautiful being who has surmounted so many challenges and expanded in so many ways. Your angels are now guiding you to take inventory of your life, to take the time to note all of your recent experiences, the challenges you have surmounted, the strengths you have developed, and the lessons you have learned. Your angels want you to reflect on your strengths, in particular those aspects of yourself that you feel have not been acknowledged by others. Offer yourself approval where it's due, and know that when you give yourself credit, others will be able to as well. Also, I just want to say that this message kind of came in for me also. For those of you who this is not your situation, and this is more coming down to whether or not you should navigate yourself into a new career path, you should consider it, right? Like if you are working at a job that you feel like you're working at it out of responsibility and out of your necessity to take care of your family, but you're miserable there, you should probably look at trying to transition out of that space into a job that you actually enjoy. And that is a message that I need to actually say before I give the last advice card. Okay, so the last advice card is She-Wolf. Unleash the wild within. Let your wild side up and out. Unleash your talents and your desires. Okay, well then that's perfect. The She-Wolf is a powerful shamanic soul who is half wolf and half woman. She is the alpha female who is not afraid to stand out from the crowd, or in this case, pack. She is wild, unfiltered, and unfettered. She encourages you not to be trapped by the limiting factors of weaker members of the pack or those who are trying to hunt you down because you have gifts that they don't like or understand. She represents the energy of the wilderness and the unknown and encourages you to be free and unchained and go beyond boundaries. Release the animal energy within and track down what you need to do to express your true self. You are being rewilded at this time, guided to reconnect with your rebellious heart, the part of you that likes to break boundaries and go beyond them completely. If you've been holding back on your hopes and dreams, you're being encouraged to chase after them now. Let the wolf energy within help you and track down what direction you want to go in. And don't let any traps or hunters get in the way of your freedom or your growth. The life you want is here. So that is perfect, because that's literally, yeah, that's perfect. So you are in this space right now where you're really looking at your life. And like I said, for those of you who are not in the most extreme situations, you are really trying to just look at your life and decide like, okay, where should I go? And you don't want to follow the rules and you don't want to do what's expected of you. And you want to be your best self and you want to be free and you want to live your best life. And you should definitely do that, right? And so this is what this reading is about this month. You're going to go through some things this month, Sag, but you got this, okay? If you've gotten to the end of this video, I want to thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate it. If you have anything that you want to say about the reading, if this is playing out in your life, please leave me a comment, like, follow, and share with anyone that you feel might benefit from this wisdom. Thank you so much and see you soon.